Peace. Think fast. Affect happy now. Give out ashes to the ancestors. It's very important to connect to the ancestors. The ancestors, the ancestors. Matter of fact, this message is brought to you by your ancestors. Because that ancestor what moved me to do the video. Basically, if you want to, get down to the deepness of it, you know, but our ancestors, they're broken down into our DNA. I say broken down, but they're within our DNA. Some of them are like, kind of like in that guardian angel form, you know what I'm saying? There's different forms where you could, you know, how can I say, interpret it in essence, but for sure they are in our DNA, you know what I'm saying, always with us. And it's important, you know what I'm saying, and dealing with the word ashe. Ashe is another word for life force, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the Yoruba and the where the Santeria and you get your voodoo from with the West African Yoruba. But basically, Ashe is another word for life force or the energy that moves things or brings things into into the physical. So, and I'm sure some of y'all who are familiar, like with Bobby Hemmett videos, where before he do each little lecture, he give ashes to the ancestors for that protection, for that guidance, you know what I'm saying? But the ancestors is who we deal with directly on this earthly plane, you know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, source, of course, the entire source, the whole universe is always with you, in you, and around you, you know. But, as far as like dealing with getting how some people would interpret getting prayers answered, or you know what I'm saying, or like trying to manifest something, quicker or easier, or just to have that protection, that connection, you know what I'm saying, to these unseen, quote unquote, unseen realms. That connection is easier attained, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with your ancestors, you know. But the ancestors really, appreciate the maches, that acknowledgement, you know what I'm saying? Because what's funny is think about yourself, like, and it ain't really egotistical in the essence of, like, it's just a humble, like when somebody helps you out a lot, you know what I'm saying? What you do, you say thank you, you know what I'm saying? You give, like, oh man, thank you for bringing me to the store, thank you. So, in essence, all the ancestors saying, like, hey man, we putting that work in, behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like that $20 you found, running into so and so like that, you know what I'm saying? And all they saying is, bro, just a simple ashe. At the beginning of the morning, at the end of the night, a simple ashe to us, before you do meditation or after, or simple ashe when you're doing your affirmations, you know what I'm saying? Like, give thanks to the ancestors because they are in the background working, you know what I'm saying? If you give simple thank yous to, people doing little regular simple tasks, in which you giving thank you to these people. But in the reality, guess what's moving people? Consciousness, the unseen vibrations, you know what I'm saying? So as much as we do, say thank you to each other and this and that, it's stuff moving behind the scenes that you should also give thanks and praise to, you know what I'm saying? And, the ancestors is definitely, some of those beings, for lack of a better word, But definitely, so like, I know for me personally, I know I give ashes to like my divine parents, Kali Ma, Ashe, Lord Ganesha, Ashe. Matter of fact, you mixing like I know you probably want like Hindu and Ashes from Europe, but like yes, you know what I'm saying. That's the thing too. You realize like all this is to be, used together in essence. Like it's like all this has a little bit right. You know what I'm saying? But I do Kali Ma, Lord Ganesha, I do Haile Selassie, Bob Marley, and what you're doing is just calling out their name and then Ashe, you know what I'm saying? I start off with Papa Legba, Ashe, Oshun, Ashe, Bawan Samde, Ashe, and even with some deities or some ancestors that I don't even really work with, I might still throw their name in there, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, cause too, I go off intuition. If I'm feeling the vibe of saying their name, then they must be around me or working with me or something. So, you know, that's another thing too. Reason why you gravitate to it, like why I resonated with Kali Ma so much and Lord Ganesha, and I start realizing I'm like, all right, maybe these are my divine parents, especially Kali Ma. You know what I'm saying? Goddess Kali, the black Hindu goddess with the skulls around her neck, you know what I'm saying? Killing that ego, you know what I'm saying, on a high level. But yeah, call out the names of your ancestors. Matter of fact, and then too, after I do the kind of like the ancestral line of deities in essence, I'll do my family members, so my dad first on the list, so Carl Ray Haynes Sr., Ashe, my grandmother Frances Haynes, Ashe, you know what I'm saying, and just go. But that's what you do, you call out your ancestors, and it could be a cousin, it could be, because another thing too, we all on this earthly plane, you know what I'm saying, we all related. Like, what's funny about that, like low key nobody like talks about that and recognize that, but like because none of us leave this plane, like, you know what I'm saying, like what you think, like some form of fashion, it would be very, like, I would like to see the statistic or like genetics of like maybe like a small percentage of people or family that hasn't really mixed with the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying, but for the most part, like, we all related anyway. So too, you know don't necessarily have to be a close relative, in essence, If somebody you just feel, like I say, you feel the essence to call out that name, but, it's those family members, deities that you're working with, divine parents, spirit guides, but, throw them in there too, but just give the ashe, you know what I'm saying? Give that thanks. Cause they out here working every second, like every second when you manifesting contrast into your experience, and they guide you around the contrast, and like, oh, come this way, oh, I'm gonna bust your tire, bam, and even though you're mad, oh well, cause I'm helping you to get to this other place that you're trying to get to, cause you messed it up over here, so I had to bust your tire, since you put contrast right here, so you could get around it and get back to where you was trying to get, That's ancestors, spirit guides, putting in that work. So definitely give out the ashes, Matter of fact, one time, ashe to all the ancestors. And matter of fact, and then after you call out the names, then you be like, ashe to all the ancestors, name and unnamed. Like, if I miss somebody, shout out to you still, but definitely give thanks and praise to the ancestors, because they definitely working with us constantly, and that also helps to, help the guidance and the protection to become strong, because it's like, all right, you know we our helping is not in vain, you know what I'm saying? They recognize us, our relative recognizes and hears, let's work with them even more, you know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly too, that's where a lot of your close guidance and protection come from, you know what I'm saying? Reason why, you missed getting into that wreck by a little bit or whatever the case may be, that's the ancestors mostly, But definitely, Ashe, peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past.